Hey everyone, welcome back, my dear viewers, for a Bell's Basement Quickie. We're gonna be doing a tier list for Mr. West here, Kanye West, the one and only. Every album, well, at the very least, most of the albums, but yeah,
Yeah.
I'm here with
Famous
Blaiden.
Jewish ally Kanye West.
Yeah, I'm here with Blaiden and Mr. Matthew the Artist, who has recently
Muted.
dropped it. Well, he'll come back, but like Matthew the artist here recently dropped an album. I think you
And it's
guys should check
bad.
it
Don't
out.
listen to it. Wait,
Nah,
Bells, did you listen to it?
and I still haven't listened to it.
Okay, well then.
No, but I'm sure it's good. I
Well,
mean,
to be fair, Matt hasn't listened to your album, and that was the deal. So
I guess I will listen to it though. I do want to listen to it, but I mean, yeah, we're gonna be doing Kanye West, very famous figure here for not just his music, but like a lot of the bass, you know, a lot of the bass, shit that he's done in the past 20 years. Definitely quite an idol.
You remember whenever he raped and murdered that white girl?
What?
No, anyways, Kanye West.
Kanye West. Let's talk about positive about Kanye this time. Yeah, I mean Kanye West. I mean, a famous artist who originally started off as a producer, but then he wanted to like prove that he was more than a producer. So like early 2000s, he started to work on his music. He eventually got to release the College Dropout 2004. That was
Mhm.
his debut album, and I think this is to this day still his best album, his most wholesome, his most heartfelt, his most genuine, and definitely like the whole history behind it and why it was made, and all of the samples, all of like the soul that was into it. I think it's very admirable. I still think this album is amazing. Definitely one of my favorite hip hop records.
Yeah, I mean, we're peaking early with this one. This one's an S tier. And
Yeah.
also by far his best. By far his best. Like, we could leave A tier empty just to allow room for.
I wouldn't go that far, honestly, but
I
do
would.
think I do think College Dropout is definitely his best.
Undoubtedly. I mean, Through the Wire, 2 words, new workout plan, all falls down, we don't care.
Slow Jams.
Slow Jams,
well.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's a very, very solid album.
Yeah. Matt, do you have any thoughts?
He left. He says in the general of this Discord server, I can't do the video, my son's being an ass. So,
Bruh, I mean, well, good luck, Matt to the artist. I'm glad that at the very least I was able to speak a little bit about him. The next album is Late Registration. That came a year after in 2005. It was kind of like a sequel to College Dropout. In a way, like College Dropout was him like trying to prove himself. Was an artist that a lot of the people that were doubting him. And I think Late Registration is just kind of like, I guess, just following on that. Like just I guess he's generally making good music in kind of like in a similar style as College Dropout, but I guess less chipmunk soul based.
well, it
I guess I would
follows the
say.
same formula, I would argue,
Yeah.
or it follows a very similar formula, but what he has to prove has already been proven. It kind of just feels like a B-side to College Dropout to me. There are some really good songs here, though. I don't want to dismiss, We Major, Diamonds, Roses. I love several songs from this album. Several songs I could live without. I think Gold Digger's overrated as well. But with that being said, I can't help but feel like it feels like a B-sides. So for that, I would say B tier.
Honestly, I'll put it in the A tier. I can kind of see like the whole B sides thing, but I don't know. Like I feel like the quality is actually kind of close to College Dropout. Like maybe slightly less consistent. Like there's I guess more. I guess I will say mid. Like I guess more fillery tracks in Late Registration than in College Dropout. But I mean, I don't know. Like there's still a lot of songs that I love in here. I mean, not just We Major or Diamonds from Serial Loan or what was Roses, but I mean, I also love Herm Say, Touch the Sky in a way I do also really like. I like Hey Mama.
Bells,
I mean,
what are your tabs?
no, but I'm feeling late registration in A tier. But
I'm
I
saying B
think
tier, but we can settle on A.
yeah. Anyways, the next album is Graduation. This is like I guess the final one of the whole trilogy because like it was kind of like it was like I guess very college like I guess Dropout Bear themed kind of albums where it was kind of like him talking about more I guess relatable and more like I guess like less I guess dark topics in a way. I don't know if that's how I put it, but I mean, I guess like Graduation is kind of like the celebration, the having fun album, the one where Kanye is I guess more relaxed, more chilled out. Well, not really chilled out, but it's more like the having fun album sort of way. And I mean, I can see why a lot of people don't really rank this among Kanye's best. I mean, it's definitely more I guess I don't really say trading ground, but like I guess more so playing it safe than the first two albums. Like it's definitely has a very yeah a lot of that quality to it, but I don't know.
Well, he
I think this
wanted an album full of crowd pleasers and
yeah
stadium music. You know,
yeah
I
yeah
disagree though. I see people say that this is his best by far. Like whenever he dropped all the anti-Semitic stuff, people were like, "But he made Graduation." I think I saw just as many of those as I saw people say, "But he made Fantasy." So this is definitely up there for most Kanye fans. I don't like it. I think it's mid. I think a lot of the production's very hollow. I think Kanye, as a vocally, like mic presence wise, isn't at his best here. Yeah, I would say C tier.
Honestly, I mean, here's the thing about Graduation. I guess like if I were to look at like in comparison to like his whole discography, like especially like the first two albums, I guess I will say more so B tier. But I mean, this is also an album that even though it's full of crowd pleasers, I mean, I guess I'm sort of part of that same crowd because this album is a lot of fun to listen to. Like I'm not gonna lie, a lot of the songs here, I mean, I always found to be kind of I guess kind of like sort of comfort zone like kind of songs that I mean they're probably not as rich or as uh, deep as a lot of the stuff from like the first two albums, but I mean there's just a lot of fun. And I mean there's still like some really good songs in here. I mean I like Flashing Lights a lot. I like Good Morning. I love I Wonder. But I feel like there's still like a significant amount of gold in here that I mean will probably encourage me to put it more in the A tier, but I'll probably more settle down for B tier for now.
Okay, I'm
Yeah.
cool with that. For Flashing Lights, B tier is fine. That's the only song I can say that I really love from this album. Even
mean,
then,
it
it pales in comparison to some of the tracks on College Dropout or even Late Registration, in my opinion.
Okay, so the next album is Ad0 Weits and Heartbreak. This album was made mainly because of two things. It was because of Kanye's mother died, and also like him breaking up with his girlfriend. That made him very depressed, very sad, and I feel like he kind of needed to cope with that depression with an album like this. But like this time, it's not even really like a rap album. It's just more so like a very auto-tune heavy R&B album that at the time was very new, it hasn't really been done before.
This is 2009?
No, this was 2008.
Oh, okay. Right. Close.
Yeah. No, but I mean, I think this is like one of those albums that I guess spoilers for the rest of the video. I'm going to be very, very nice to like the early albums because that's usually like the kind of era that I like from Kanye. Like the 2000s albums, I usually tend to be very positive, and this is definitely not an exception. I really do like this album. I didn't really like it the first time that I've heard it. I thought it was kind of weird. I thought it was kind of. I don't really say inconsistent, but definitely had a lot of songs that made me raise an eyebrow. But I don't know, like the more I listen to it, the more I seem to like it, the more it seemed to connect, the more I seem to see what Kanye was trying to do with this album that I found very appealing. I like how atmospheric sometimes it is, like like with the first two songs or the last two songs, like especially with Pinocchio Story, that is essentially like kind of like a live track that is kind of like Kanye expressing his emotions to the public, but like the public doesn't really care. Like it's kind of like with that portrait that I find very powerful.
Mhm.
And I mean, Heartless is a great pop song. Love Lockdown is really good. Paranoid is really good. That's probably my favorite song, either Paranoid or Love Lockdown. I think those two songs definitely work the best.
I don't like this album. I don't like the production on here's thin. Just as the production on Graduation was hollow. I don't like any of the vocal performances, to be honest. I'm not even like, I don't dislike auto-tune rap, but I feel like since this album, it's been, done a lot better since. Even though that's kind of a hot take, I think a lot of people in our circle would say that it probably peaked on 808s, but I disagree.
Honestly, I think it peaked with 808s because like I haven't really heard like a lot of the albums that this album in particular has inspired, but I don't know, at the very least compared to something like even the early Drake albums, I mean this is definitely better.
Well, okay. Yeah, I mean, if you want to compare it to Drake, then sure. Compared to Drake, this is S tier, but for me,
people like the older Drake albums, so I guess that's why.
Well, people are also retarded. I'm saying D tier for 808s.
Yeah, I'm actually going with A tier. I think this is probably. I like Later Decision more, but I mean, this is probably my third or fourth favorite from him.
Then we compromise in B.
Yeah, I guess B tier. All right, so god damn it, my voice is fucking raining again.
You need water.
Maybe. Yeah, the next album is My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. This was essentially Kanye's comeback album because at the time people didn't really like 808s. A lot of people were kind of divided on it. People thought it was weird. People thought it was kind of like a left turn that they didn't really like. They wanted more of the old Kanye and him doing hip hop, and I guess the Dark Fantasy was basically his return to that. Dark Fantasy had a lot of successful singles. It was very critically acclaimed. In fact, I think it was probably his most acclaimed at the time when it came out. It was like
is this his most streamed album? No, Graduation is. I think this might be second though.
Yeah, I mean, this album, Powered, all of the Lights, and Runaway have a lot of streams on Spotify.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
great songs from this album. Also, some pretty bad songs though.
Yeah,
Hell of a Life, Blame Game.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. I don't think the lows of this album. The lows of this album I don't think are that bad. But I think they're just more so underwhelming, if anything.
I don't like Gorgeous.
You don't like Gorgeous?
I don't like Gorgeous. I think
really
the beat has like zero progression. I don't know. It's just a tedious listen for me. And also that like very saturated vocal like chain that they use. I don't like it very much at all. It sounds dry. This entire song sounds like if you blew on it, it would turn into dust. It's very brittle. I don't like it.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I'm kind of mixing the production. Like, on one hand, I like how maximalistic it is. Like, it's like very big, very grand, and I feel like sometimes the production is able to highlight that very well. But at the same time, I mean, there's some songs here that, Hell of a Life is not really well produced at all. Like, I don't really like. I don't like how that song sounds. Hell of a Life or even Lost in the World. I feel like they sound very. I don't like how blocky and how. I don't know. They sound like a mess.
Well, yeah, because the mix and masters on this album are very inconsistent. You have a song like Devil in a New Dress where it feels like all the stars aligned. That's my favorite Kanye song. I feel Kanye has a great verse. Rick Ross has a great verse. The beat is amazing. But you also, across the entirety of this album, you have very bad mixing and mastering, like the drums on Lost in the World or the master on Gorgeous. I don't like it. There are some songs I don't know. I'm more positive on this album than I am negative, but I'm also a lot more negative than most people are. I'd say probably B tier.
Yeah, maybe B tier as well. I mean, when it comes to like the highs, they're definitely some of the best. I mean, not just Devil in a New Dress, but I mean, I do also like Gorgeous. I love Power. Like Power is an amazing song that I mean, here's the thing: people, Kanye, kind of like speaks as himself, like as as a genius, as this second coming of Christ sometimes. And I mean, me listening to Power, I'm like, I probably believe that because like Power is insane. Like I feel like the production of that song, the lyrics, and everything. I mean, it's not really a song that a normal person will do, honestly.
Mm-hmm. The samples on Power are genius. Like that lead, I can't sing, so I'm not even going to try to replicate it, but you know what I mean, the lead vocal sample, and also the King Crimson sample.
Yeah, 21st Century Kids, yeah.
I love that shit, dude. That rocks.
Yeah. Power is amazing. Runaway is also really great. I mean, it's not my favorite song from the album, but I mean, I get why people love it so much. It's definitely...
I don't like the vocoder outro.
I like the vocoder outro. I mean,
it lasts too long. I don't know.
Yeah,
boring.
But I mean, at the same time, like it comes like very much at the end. Like it's not really preventing any of the big moments.
No,
like, I
skip it. I get to Pusha T's verse. I skip the song.
Yeah, I mean,
not before, but after.
I actually do like Pusha T's verse, but it's definitely not as good as the Kanye verse. But I mean, I think it's good.
Really?
Yeah, really. Wait, what do you mean?
You don't like Pusha T's verse better than Kanye? What is Kanye? I sent this bitch a picture of my dick. I don't know what it is with females, but I'm not too good at that shit. Like, who cares?
I mean, it's very goofy, but like, it's very, I don't know, it's very soulful. It's very...
Yeah, but it's almost goofy to the extent that it kind of brings down my enjoyment of the song more. I don't know. I like Pusha T's verse on there. I think Kanye's is a little silly and a little wacky. I can tolerate it, but yeah, whatever. I don't know. B tier for fantasy, in my opinion.
Yeah, I guess also feeling B tier.
People are gonna hate this video.
Yeah, I mean, I think my harder takes are gonna come later.
For this next one, create a new tier and call it "Don't Care."
Yeah, here's the thing. I haven't even listened to Watch the Throne. That's actually, it's like I've listened to every Kanye album except like the ones that I think are like collabs, like Watch the Throne and Cruel Summer. I think that's the name of the other one.
Yeah, like, both of those can go straight into the Don't Care tier list.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
The next one. The next
one. People are gonna hate this video.
Jesus. This is definitely a very controversial one to talk about because here's the thing. I don't hate Jesus. Actually, overall, I do like this album, but I mean, compared to everything else we've been talking about, I think this is definitely weaker and probably the beginning of the end, maybe, for Kanye. When it comes to like a lot of the problems that were about to like come out in later albums. I mean, I feel like the hints were in Jesus.
I don't agree, but I don't disagree. This album's an F tier. It's bad. There are 2 good songs. Everything else can blow me. But even the good songs aren't worth like this entire album for. I'm saying F tier. I don't want to talk about it any more than just saying F tier.
Honestly, I'm going with maybe B tier because like there are some bad songs in here. Like I feel like Blood on the Leaves was a song that I used to like back in the day, but it has definitely not aged for me that well. I think it's very messy, very even like kind of retarded because of how messy it is. Like, I don't know. Like the sample doesn't work. The whole hook doesn't really work for me. I don't know. I don't really like that song. I don't really like New Slaves that much either. I think that's kind of a hot take because that song is kind of like a fan favorite for a lot of Kanye fans. But I mean, and I really understood its appeal.
Yeah, this album's midwit bait, and for that, it goes directly into F tier. There is no compromise; it just goes into F tier.
Yeah, I will say this: On-Site, Black Skinhead, Bound to, and actually even I'm a God, I actually like a lot, and I think everything else is kind of like okay to mid. So I don't know, it's kind of like a 6 out of 10 album, maybe 7, probably like a C tier for me. The more I think about it, actually.
Okay, well then the compromise is D tier, but we already said compromises were off the table, so it's F tier.
Nah, I'm going with D tier.
I hate you.
It's not that bad.
Click on your third tab.
No. The next album is The Life of Pablo.
Pablo.
Yeah, is that how you call him, Pablo, in the Americans?
Yeah, in the Americans we say it's actually Pablo.
Pablo, okay.
Yeah.
Anyways, the Life of Pablo. I like this album. I think it's pretty good. I think it's another one of those albums that I used to not really like that much when I first heard it. I thought it was very mediocre. Like, I feel like they didn't really have a lot of songs that were very good. And most of it was just kind of whatever. But I don't know. It has definitely grown on me. I think it's definitely very fun. I think he has a lot of good songs in here, like Father Strays My Hands Part 1, or what was the name of that other song? Like the one where Kendrick was on? Forgot the name.
Oh, No More Parties in LA.
Yeah, No More Parties in LA. That's probably my favorite song on this album. I think that one's really fun.
That's a respectable opinion.
Yeah, because like
Famous is good too.
Yeah, the thing about this album is that Kanye kind of like fucks around like with some songs. Like, I feel like some songs in a way are very loose in how I guess nonsensical they are. Like, it's very like in a way it's kind of inconsistent in that part, but I mean, I kind of like it in here. Right? It definitely doesn't feel like it's being and what's the word? Like fucking around just for the sake of it. Like, I feel like there's still some value to be found in.
Well, it wasn't finished, and then whenever it was finished, I don't know. It still kind of feels unfinished. It's got Donda syndrome, or Donda has Pablo syndrome, I guess. But
yeah, I mean,
to a worse extent on Donda, for sure.
Yeah, like this, it's definitely Donda, but like much better.
Yeah,
at the very least on that quality. I'll probably put this in the B tier. I like this album. I think it's pretty good.
I put it in B tier as well.
Yeah. Yeah. And the next album is Yeah.
This is a bad album.
Actually, I'm going between B or C tier for this album because, like, on one hand, I guess I like most of the songs on this album. I think they're definitely good, but at the same time, it's very lackluster. Like, I feel like it's one of those albums that will be better if it was, I don't know, longer. Because like it still feels like a very I don't know, an album that you had to throw out just to get an album out, you know?
I disagree. I think this album's too long as it is. It could be just shortened to Ghost Town, and that would be fine. Except the Ghost Town on Kids See Ghosts is better. So
honestly,
does it need to exist?
I mean, here's the thing. I actually like Ghost Town from this album more than the one on Kids See Ghost. I feel like in here it hits more, like especially with the I feel kind of free. Like, I don't know, I enjoyed that shit more than anything from the one Kids See Ghost. Even though the Kids See Ghost one is really good as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'd say D tier for this one. I don't like it. There's not a single song on here that I would like to listen to at all.
I'm feeling like a C tier or a B tier. Would you be fine with a C tier?
Sure.
Yeah.
Just to give C some representation.
Yeah. The next album is speaking of which, Kids See Ghosts. This was the other album that was released in 2018. This time it's a collaboration with Kid Cudi. I mean, I don't know what else to say. I mean, this is a really good album. I don't think it's one of my favorite Kanye albums anymore. Like, I haven't really come back to this one as much as I did with, at the very least, like the first 5 albums. Like, even Dark Fantasy, I do probably come back to more often. But I mean, every song on Kitsune is good. I feel like overall it's a very consistent album that definitely accomplishes what it sets to do. And I mean, it definitely has a very unique sound, a lot of unique samples. Kid Cudi is definitely good on it as well. I mean, it's a good album.
It might be his most consistent, and part of that is due to the fact that it is only 7 songs. But
yeah,
the other part of that is because the 7 songs are, they range from good to amazing. Feel the Love rocks, Fire rocks, Ghost Town Part 2 rocks, Reborn rocks, Kitsune Ghost rocks. Yeah, I mean, this is just a solid album.
Yeah. For Dimension especially, that's probably still my favorite song on here.
If I get locked up, I won't finish the sentence.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, I was thinking B tier, but I don't know, A or B for me.
Honestly, I'll be fine with A tier. I mean, I cannot really think of a single thing wrong with this album. It's just very solid all around.
Now, this is one where if you said that it should be longer, I would completely agree with you.
Kitsune Ghost?
Yeah.
Okay, the next album. Oh yeah, this Jesus is King. This is this is the album where Kanye became a Christian, I think. Like this is where it's yeah.
This is where I started getting kind of schizo.
Yeah. This is sounds bad. This is definitely the worst one for me so far. I mean, I know it's like a very popular take, but I mean, I don't care for this album. I don't really care for any of the songs. I still think, even counting everything else that was made after, I still think this is definitely his worst album. I mean, I don't think there's a single song in here that I actually like a lot. I feel like it's definitely at best like a very filler-ass album that was just kind of like a novelty, and at worst just very boring, very very flat.
It has Closed on Sunday, which is Kanye West's worst song of all time.
It's up there. I mean, honestly, I don't even disagree that much. That song is very bad. I know, it's funny, the opening line, but everything else is bad.
It's embarrassing. I don't know who let him. That being said, the rest of the album is I'm actually okay with it, to be honest. I'm completely okay with this as an album. I would say C tier. I don't really ever want to revisit it. There's that one song, Selah, I think, Selah, if memory serves. But it's not as egregious as Yeezus to me, so I'd say C.
I'll say more so a D tier. What should I put it? C or D?
D. Just because whoever's watching this video, if they're still watching this video, this is something we throw to them. I mean, we put Yeezus in D. We put Fantasy in B. They're probably not very happy, so we'll throw them this one.
Maybe.
I don't even think Kanye fans defend Jesus is King.
Yeah, I mean, I think this was because every album before this, I mean, at this point is very well within the fan base, within even hip hop Twitter, I guess, as kind of fans. Jesus is King. I think this is definitely his first. Not even just my opinion, but I think this was the first Kanye album that nobody really liked that much.
Yeah, dude, I was sitting in Algebra 2 whenever this album came out, and I listened to it because I was just so excited. It released midday for some reason, and I was very disappointed. Over time, it's not as disappointing, and maybe that is a retrospect thing because of what we've gotten in recent years, but I think that's half of it. The other half is just, it's not as bad if you're not expecting Yandhi, so.
Yeah. All right, so jump into this current decade. The next album is Donda. I don't know where to begin with Donda, to be honest, because this is a very
Kanye didn't know where to begin either, because
this is a very weird album, because at the end, the only reason why this was released was because the label was nah man, fuck you, we're gonna release this, we're sick of your bullshit of never releasing the album, or it was something like that. So they just ended up releasing it with I mean, I will say no album cover, but I mean, maybe Kanye was planning this to be the album cover for the Funnies. I don't
Where's
know.
my phone? I want to see how many songs ended up on this thing.
Yeah, because like
I
there's
think
a
it's
lot.
like 30 or something retarded like that.
There were like a lot of songs with part two on them. It was just basically the same song, but I mean, I think with a different verse. I don't know.
Yeah. Jailed Part 2 had the baby.
Yeah. Wait, I thought that
That's
was.
all I remember.
Oh no, yeah, JC was in the first part. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Donda, like I like it more than Jesus is King. Like I think this album actually has some good songs that I still occasionally come back to. Like I do like Yale, I like Off the Grid, I like Moon. But I mean, like within like a few good songs, it is a lot of a lot of like songs that definitely feel unfinished. Definitely feel like yeah, I mean, could have just been better if they were actually completed. And I mean, a lot of the album just kind of has like a very dry, very gray, I don't know, feel to them that I don't think it's very enjoyable, to be honest.
Yeah, I completely agree.
Yeah,
there are some good songs, like you said, like well, you didn't mention these, but Jesus Lord and Heaven and Hell. But
yeah,
another thing about this album is all the swear words are censored. So you're listening to the clean version of all these songs. The only song that got released that wasn't censored was the Andre 3000 song. I forget the name of it. That's another good song though.
Yeah, wasn't that on the deluxe version though? Because I don't think that was in the original versions.
It was on the deluxe, but that was the clean version. The explicit version got released as a single for some reason. Yeah,
I see. That is
it's
weird.
Unnecessarily complicated. I don't know. This is Kanye going completely off the deep end.
Yeah, it's his most. I don't know. I mean, I already said weird, but I mean, it's definitely very. I don't know. It's a weird album. It's like I don't know. I guess a C tier because like at the end of the day, like a few good songs, a few bad songs, and most of it is just like a 5 out of 10. So I guess I'm feeling like a C tier for Donda.
Yeah, I'm thinking D tier because the few songs that are good. I mean, who remembers? If I can get my phone here real quick, who remembers Lord I Need You, God Breathed, Remote Control, aside from the fact that that's the one that sampled the weird meme animation, Up From the Ashes, Believe What I Say, Come to Life, Never Abandon Your Family, which okay, I do remember that one, but I mean still the point stands, like who remembers any of this garbage, Not only that, but the audacity to put the bonus tracks and part twos, just not to put them at the end, but to sprinkle them throughout the track list. It's like, oh my god. And over the course of 32 songs.
Wait, I thought they were like at the very end, like the part two.
On the first version of this album. On the second version of this album, they're just everywhere.
Oh, I didn't even know about that.
Yeah.
It's like I never listened to the deluxe version aside from the 100 3000 song.
Yeah.
Which is a good song, I will admit, but I mean, I don't know. I guess I will settle for C. Would you be fine with C or D tier?
I'm advocating hard for D because out of 32 songs, I think I can say that I like 4, and that's bad.
I guess. And now time for the most recent one, and probably actually I was gonna say that Jesus was controversial, but I mean I think this one is going to be even more controversial to talk about.
Yeah.
Yeah, Vultures. I mean, do we should we even talk about the whole Fantano thing?
I guess to summarize the Fantano thing, I don't even want to. I don't have it in me, man. I don't have it in me. You go ahead. You say whatever you feel like about it. I might sit this one out.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say because like, I don't like that video that Fantano put out, just mainly on the fact that like not only his reasons of why he considers an album reviewable or not, which is just very retarded. Like, it's kind of like, oh, I'm doing this for what the viewer takes from this album, like, kind of like in that sense, instead of like making it for himself. That
Mhm.
I think it's just like, why? I mean, you should review music because you like reviewing music, because you want to give out your perspective, your thoughts, not because of like trying to get someone to I don't know. It's just very stupid.
Yeah.
And I mean, yeah,
completely agree.
and I mean, yeah, I think Fantano is like definitely very sensitive about like the whole thing, like the whole anti-Semitic thing, because like there's only like 2 songs that have anti-Semitic lines, and I mean, most of the album, I mean, it's just like, I feel like
They're not
Fantano.
really even anti-Semitic songs though, or anti-Semitic lines. Like what one of them's like, "How am I anti-Semitic? I just fucked a Jewish bitch," and it's like,
I don't think it's even supposed to be that serious, to be honest. Like, it's just
no.
kind of like. It definitely, Fantano definitely took it very seriously for some reason. I mean, I don't like. Here's the thing: I don't even hate Fantano. Well, at the very least, I still like his older content, and I mean, I don't think he's like the worst, I don't know, person in the world, or the worst, content creator. But I mean, that video is pretty bad. Like, I cannot really defend it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You know what is funny though?
Yeah. What?
Kanye saying that he hates the Jews, and then everyone's saying, "Why?" And then he's saying, "Oh, it's because they control everything they have." And then everyone responds, "No, they don't. No, they don't." And then Kanye, they freeze his bank account. So it's kind of funny.
Yeah, that is kind of funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, about the album itself, I guess like we already talked about this on the Vultures podcast, but I mean, I guess for as far as how this album is holding up for me, I mean, I still kind of like it. It's like it's okay. I think it's definitely better than Jesus is King and Donda, mainly because I think it's more consistent, has more, I guess, good songs. But I
Mhm.
mean, at the same time, I still like, compared to like College Dropout, Late Registration, 808s, Dark Fantasy, Graduation, like even Life of Pablo. I mean, I don't think it really holds a candle for me.
No,
Like, in a
this
way,
is the least special feeling Kanye album ever. Like this does not feel like it came from Kanye.
Yeah, it feels very ordinary, and I mean, I kind of hate that for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm thinking C tier. It does have some bops like beautiful big titty but naked women just don't fall out the sky, But
Yeah.
and Hood Rat, you look like a slice of hallelujah wrapped up
Yeah.
in have mercy, Lord. Like that's fun, There are some like fun little Kanye moments on here, but it's wrapped up in mid, So I'm thinking C tier. I don't care. Yeah, and
C
go ahead and
tier.
put Cruel Summer and Unreviewable because who cares?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that was that's every album. That was the Kanye, that was the Mr. West tier list. I mean,
People are gonna hate this video. We have very controversial rankings.
I do still like Kanye West. Like, I guess generally as an artist, like I still like most of his music than not. I feel like it's just really just recently where he started to go wrong. Like things were starting to I guess derail. But I mean, a lot of that early stuff, like College Dropout, Late Registration, like a lot of those older songs and albums. I mean, I still have a very big soft spot for them, and I think he makes good music. I think he's a good artist generally.
I think it'd be interesting if Kanye came back and surprised us with another S tier or even A tier, even B tier, but probably not going to happen. Dude has fallen off skill-wise. Dude has fallen off mentally. Yeah, no, it's not happening.
Yeah.
So next we're going to do the Eminem tier list.
Sure, actually, why not?
Well, Matt definitely has to be there for that one.
Yeah, might as well follow up my April Fool's video with an actual Eminem video.
That's a good April Fool's video.
Yeah. Trend.